Listen. I don't have my mixer, so we're actually live right now. But I'm gonna getting ready to hit the button.
Oh, cool. This is a perfect time. I hope Chris would like.
Tell me when I should hit the button.
There's something. What's that?
Should I hit the button?
Are you gonna play the intro? Play the intro.
All right, stand by.
Standing by.
We set up a time to meet prior to when we start. When you show up 3 minutes before you start,
we're already live.
I was here. I was trying to get this thing situated. It sucks.
I show up typically an hour before the show.
Yeah, tell the people why their time is invaluable.
Yeah, this is where Bill should be talking.
Yeah, something about downloaded and yeah, something like that.
Do you think I should shave my head again?
I don't know, but as I was watching the thumbnail or the intro thing, it's very interesting because there's so many different versions of us in that intro. Like Joe looks increasingly like a terrorist in a few of them. Right. And then he like goes back and forth. And then Adam looks homeless. And then I look homeless.
I'm like a bald me, a fat me, a fatter me, a fatter me with a beard. Joe's still on mute. So, yeah, just keep talking.
I was saying you're lucky. It was perfect time because I was saying I drunk you.
Speaking of the intro, look at that. Ryan Hughes. Patting himself on the back because Ryan Hughes made the intro.
Ring a ding. I would ring a ding, but I don't have a ding.
Ring a ding. Hold on. I think I can ring a ding right now. Hold on. Okay, this is a crapshoot. Nope.
Close enough.
Nope. Nope.
It's like our theme song.
There's not many more. Oh, that's the one you can't stop. It's like on whatever.
There's multiple pages of them.
That's a good one. That's a ding. You ringed a ding.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually. I like that.
No,
anyways, that's enough of the ding and ringing. What is that?
My mic does work. I just don't have my mixer. So here's the story. Would you guys like to hear the story very quickly?
Let's hear the story.
You sound like crap.
Yeah, Joe was giving me a hard time already. I'm sorry if I sound bad. Am I low? Am I quiet? Am I just crap sounding?
You're echoey.
Sound like you just
Yeah, you're just very like you sound like your microphone is in.
Should I talk quieter?
It's like, hey guys, my first time live. Hi. It's like,
can you make your voice not echo around the room?
Let me see. Is this better?
Oh
no, that's worse.
Anyway, so I got all that stuff, the podcasting stuff that I put together for Summit. And NCI wants to buy it off of me, including the mixer. So I'm kind of waiting to see what they're going to do with that, and then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do for a new mixer.
Well, what I would do if I were you is if they buy that stuff off of you, then just buy the Rodecaster Mini. It only has 2 outputs. It's super small, and do that. That's what I would do.
Yeah, good call.
Yep.
Nathan interrupted Chris's most recent video to get here. You're awesome, Nathan, and you're awesome for watching great videos that Chris provides.
All right, guys. It seems like we haven't talked or hung out in like a month. I don't know how long it's actually been.
let's let everybody that's viewing right now in the studio audience, whatever you want to call it, know that the amount of times you have seen Adam on this show in the last 2 months is the amount of times we have talked to Adam in the last 2 months. We don't talk to him anymore either.
No, it is kind of true.
Then today he's in the chat saying, what was he saying? Like, let's go, or saying smarter rugs, like why are you missing the show, Bill, or whatever what were you saying? I can't remember what you're saying.
I don't know.
I said keep having babies, Bill. Keep having them.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Go ahead and tell. So Bill's not here. I'm gonna interrupt your thing again too to tell my little story, Adam. So Bill's not here because he's being a good dad. He's got a new baby at home. He's got to do daddy duty, kind of a thing. That's life when you have infants, right? Infants are very demanding. Let me give you a little snippet into my life with an 18-year-old daughter. When she politely kind of just wants to run by her idea of what she's going to do this weekend, and she's being very courteous about it, but she was her boyfriend went to college down in San Diego, and so she was going to go visit him, and she's like, I'm thinking about just staying the night in his dorm. And me and my wife were like, okay, all right, yeah.
So how does it, I mean, what's your thoughts on being a grandpa?
Yeah, no. No, I mean, I want grandkids, but not this soon. But I mean, what can you do, dude? You just got to hope that you raised them right. And, I mean, she's 18. She's got to learn, she's learning her life and living her life. She still lives at home. She's courteous. She's not rude. She talks to
like
us.
A good understanding dad.
I try, but that was a gut punch. Like, oh, okay. You got to think before you answer immediately. Because if I answered immediately, it would have been instant tears and fighting. So yeah. But anyways, so let's finish telling your story that I interrupted you, and then now you probably forgot about it. I don't know. You were fucking telling a story about how you haven't been here. And
look at my hair looks stupid. Here's the thing. I've been trying to grow my hair longer, but then I have to do something with it. And I think I look like I got like bangs.
You're fine, man. You're fine.
Should I shave my head?
No. Keep the hair.
I think that's the best part of me.
I mean, I was a little bit afraid to shave my head when I shaved it most recently because I wondered how much my hair has receded. But I mean, it's kind of receded. Like it's going up right here a little bit.
Oh, you're fine. You guys are funny.
It's fine.
So I got 2 stories to tell you, unrelated to hairlines and bangs.
Okay.
If you guys care to hear.
Let's do it.
I was on Facebook the other day, as usual, probably in the morning when I was taking my morning deuce. And that homeowner group, you're in the homeowner group, right, Chris, where it's like Q&A or whatever. And it's like a bunch of homeowners asking questions to HVAC techs.
I was at one point. I may or may not be in there, but I'm in so many groups that nothing pops up on my feed. So I don't ever go searching for groups. I just look at my feed. So I might be in it. I don't know.
Anyways, I made a comment to something in there, and I pulled away. That group's been a hot mess for a while now, so I haven't really been saying much in there because there's so many morons. Mm-hmm. But there was a post that somebody made, and there wasn't many comments on it, so I said something in it, and then some guy responded to me, and he's like, "Hey, I think I was just in your class," and I looked him up. I'm like, "Yeah, you were just in my class last week," and I'm like. And he's like, well, thank you so much for teaching it. And I responded, I was like, hopefully you got a couple nuggets from it. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully you were able to take anything from it. He's like, dude, I'm using it already. And I sold 3 systems this week. And the customers love the information I'm giving them. So teaching them how to check airflow, how to check all these pressures, how to check system performance and everything. And then communicating that with the customer. And people are like, hell, I want to spend money on this. That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, when you can actually, one of the downsides to, I mean, it's in any trade, right? But in HVAC in general is the customer's inability to trust people, because a lot of times technicians, whether it be commercial, residential, sometimes even industrial, they're doing their best and they're winging it. I mean, I'm going to be honest. There's been a lot of times that I've been winging it my whole career too. I mean, I know a little bit about some things now, but I'm not.
I mean, The thing is, I know, like, on the surface, this kind of sounds like a cringy story that I just told a little bit because he's talking about sales and that.
Yeah.
And like we've been talking about a lot of those other traveling salesmen for quite a while, and everyone knows that the ones we, that's all over Facebook and this and that, where they're like, hey, 10x this and that, whatever. And all they teach is sales.
Right.
I felt proud in that moment because I am trying to teach people the technical side of things.
What's up, Chris?
And then they convey that to a customer, so they're actually showing value and they're actually fixing stuff. You know what I mean? So that's like my win.
You know what I try to tell people too, especially, I mean, and this can relate to everything. If you know what you're doing, if you really, really know what you're doing and you pay attention, you don't have to sell anything. No, you really don't.
Just tell them the information that you found, and that's it. They want to buy it.
All I need is a doorway into the restaurant. I get into the restaurant, I'm there to fix something, and I'll just politely ask the manager, hey, it's been a while since because a lot of my restaurants don't do routine maintenance anymore, and it's just a corporate decision, right? So I'll just, while I'm on site, or I'll ask a facilities director, the person that I technically work for, hey, when I'm on site, do you mind if I just walk around and look at things? Because believe it or not, in a corporate structure, the facilities director, that's the person that I answer to, right? In the corporate office, I really don't answer to the management or anything. I answer to the facilities director. They want me to maintain their equipment. It's their bosses that don't have the budget for it. So they tell me, if you're there and you don't mind, just walk through the restaurant and just look around.
Well, the thing is, I'm curious to know, like, have you ever talked to these people? Like, who makes, because you'd be surprised sometimes, like, who makes the budgets? And what are the budgets based upon? Because like they might be they're not using the right numbers for their budgets. Like maybe they just need to know.
Yeah, I don't know the answers to that, but I don't have access to the people that make those things. Like for instance, I have to be careful how I say this, but the facilities director told me of one of the restaurant chains that I work for that they have a new maintenance company. Okay, so they're not using me for maintenance to do routine maintenance for their equipment. They have this new company nationwide that's going to do their maintenance. Okay,
they're the ones that you were already talking about. That's
kind of, it screwed up a bunch of stuff. But anyways, the long story short, the facilities director said, yeah, we have this new maintenance company. They're going to come in and do filter changes and coil cleanings for us nationwide, right? And I go, oh, who is it? And he says it's X number of company, this name of the company. And I go, and then I said, I thought you fired this company. Okay. And he goes, yeah, they were working in some of our restaurants and I fired them because we don't like that company. And I go, that maintenance company that you just hired just bought that company. It's all of their technicians that are going to be doing your work now. And he's like, really? And I go, yeah, do the research. And he ended up emailing me back. He goes, dude, you were right. And I go, yeah, that's what so like, it's not him making those, it's his boss and high up and everything. But anyways, all I need is a gateway into the restaurant. I'm there fixing something. I've got approval from the facilities director. Do me a favor, just walk around the restaurant, just look. And all I do is just go in and say, hey, you got an air conditioner that has a fan motor that's bad. Hey, your walk-in cooler's making noise. And they just create work orders all day long. And I'm not doing anything dishonest. I'm doing what, the people that hired me wants me to do. So if you really know your job, you don't have to sell anything. You're there just to observe.
Legit, almost every system, something is not working correctly. Something is broken. There's something not efficient about something. Like there's always something to work on,
And the crazy thing is that, and I probably shouldn't say this, but it is what it is. These maintenance companies that they use, dude, it's embarrassing how much they charge. It's so little. They're a massive loss leader on what they're doing. They're literally doing PMs because they think they're going to get the service work and they're not. Like, if I was that company, I'd also be pissed because they think they're going to be getting the service work and they're not. Like, that's kind of silly too, but that's a whole nother discussion to have. Right. But they're in these restaurants and they don't even, dude, I kid you not, wrong size filters in every AC, like embarrassingly wrong. They've duct taped them together and they're pulling against the evaporator.
Right. Did you make a video on that?
What's that?
Did you film that? You should have.
I don't know if I filmed it or not. Some of the things I have to be careful filming because I can't. You got to be careful with some of this stuff, but it blows my mind because they have a gateway into these restaurants and they're not using it efficiently. Like they're just in there, their technicians are in there and they only get X number of hours. They have to do all this work and they don't get it done in time. Everything's messed up. And it's like, wow, they're totally missing out.
I think the problem is it's like they're the higher ups in a lot of these companies is just like bean counters making the decisions on things and they're not focusing on what's important. And so they're like, what do they say? Like, if you're penny smart or whatever, dollar poor or what, I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to save pennies over here where they could be making more money over there if they would be refocusing what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of money in these restaurants that's wasted because people don't understand. Like, for instance, I've got restaurants that have, I've talked about this before, but they have these smart exhaust systems that are all variable speed exhaust fans that speed up and slow down.
Are those the ones that you like rewire?
Yeah, rewire the whole system, run them 100%, no VFDs. But here's the problem. When you have a smart hood system on a restaurant that doesn't have makeup air units, they use the ACs as outside air. So it opens the AC dampers, brings in the outside air. They're air balanced on low speed because they're not going to run on high speed all the time. They only run on high speed. Well, when we bypass them, they run on high speed. So where's that makeup air come from? You have to pull it from the ACs that aren't meant to have 100% outside air running through them in the middle of 115 degrees.
It'll never happen. Yeah.
So you've got the only thing that makes these ACs last the tiniest bit longer than they're lasting, right? Like, you know, than they should, is that they have pressure limiting expansion valves. So they have pressure limiting expansion valves. So it reduces the suction pressure. It caps it, but still the evaporator temperature, the return air temperature coming to those evaporators is 100 degrees.
Wait, say that again. That's interesting what you just said. I never heard of that before.
Pressure
limiting expansion valves.
Yeah, they have pressure limiting power heads on the valves. So they will only open and close within an envelope of which was designed for that expansion valve. It won't. So even though you have 100-degree air coming into the evaporator,
so that means like the saturated temperature won't go above an X.
Well, the valve is going to do its best not to open as much, right? So it won't absorb as much of the heat. Like it's just kind of silly, but that's
wouldn't that like throw off, like once you get to a certain point, your superheat wouldn't be able to.
It kills your compressors. It kills your compressors. It saves the compressors, but then it kills them, right? So it doesn't flood them all the time, but then it also kills them because, you know, you're bringing that saturated or that air into there, and it's basically just too hot, and the compressors basically cook themselves to death. But they last a little bit longer. But anyways, the reason why I brought that up is because that wasn't my decision to bypass all those exhaust fans. That was a corporate decision. Oh, just eliminate it, run them 100%. And it's like, are you sure you want to do this? You need to add makeup air to the building. No. Just open up the outside air dampers. And I'm like, you guys are going to run into problems, and this is their decision. They're like, yeah, just do it. Okay, cool. Here you go.
Have you, by any chance, measured the pressures of the building, like with it running?
No.
I
have, but I don't remember the exact numbers. But I haven't used like high-end manometers. I haven't used like the DG8 or anything like that. But I would
love to see that.
I mean, I can tell you that the buildings are air balanced. They're air balanced. It's just they're pulling in 100% outside air. The buildings aren't negative. I run them in a positive. So I make the buildings positive essentially by bringing in the outside air. They're slightly positive. So
slightly
but they're still bringing in 100% outside air. Yeah. So, I mean,
it's funny. The one dude who, that I shadowed in the beginning with NCI, he's older than me. He's not old, but he's older than me. But like whenever we walk into a restaurant, he like stops right at the door and he opens it just a crack. He puts his face up to it. Yeah,
I don't need to put my face. I can open a door and just feel it. You could just feel the air. You're like, okay. Or the best way is to go into the building and close the door, because then you want to feel, you know, you don't want to feel air coming in at you, right? Yeah. You want to feel that building being positive. That's the easiest way. So,
yeah, houses are the same.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's good. Chatters in here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there is. I was gonna say, so like what? As summer's kind of slowing down, right? Adam, it's, you know, a little different for you now since you're like a corporate bigwig with a stick up your butt that's going around just kind of flying on airplanes and like laughing at people now.
I got bangs.
No, what's going on with you, Joe? Like, are you guys still busy? Or are you guys kind of winding down on your summer?
You know what? Right now we're still busy. And I'm loving it. So far I'm loving it. Like I'm actually editing a little small video today. And I think they're going to keep on coming because I could do whatever the fuck I want, honestly. There's a cool job. I actually want to tell you guys for your input and you smart little guys in the chat. We have a place downtown that there's these carrier systems, 8 tons. There's about 3 of them. They're package units. And we can't get a crane in because you know how that goes. You got to block off the street, lots of money. It has to be a huge crane because the reach is huge. Put it this way, we have to find something that we could use or customize after cutting up these package units and bringing them down the stairs. So I found Resner modulators like systems. That's what I'm like going against, and then just put it on the supply or whatever and just stucking around for the return, bringing them up piece by piece upstairs and finding a condenser, maybe I don't know, Keep Right or a Russell or something to match that 8-ton or the evaporator, right? But that's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to film all that one when it comes to
You're going to assemble the whole package unit?
Yeah, on the roof. It's either that or VRF inside the ductwork inside. Take a few things out of the way, put it the unit inside, you know how it is, and fill the pan, pipe work, bring the copper inside. But we say screw it. Let's stay on the roof.
Have you played with VRF before, Joe?
No. We'll talk about another. I haven't done it, but we have the construction side of the company. That's a lot what they do. It's just like 50 employees. All they do is install like VRFs, which brings another subject I want to talk about tonight too, which I think Bill was touching on too. But anyways, so that's what I'm trying to like figure out right now, what to, our options to get rid of these package units, these old package units that are barely surviving. Actually, that's how we won this customer. We got them to work, cooling, but we don't know if they're going to work in the winter. So anyways, we're going to do one unit at a time. We have to figure out somehow we could make something, customize something in place of these package units. So that's pretty.
Did you send your old camera to Bill, Joe?
Oh my gosh.
Let me answer this.
We got numb nuts with the mic.
Let me answer this question. Ray wants to know if I run 100% outside air during the summer, are the walls wet? No, because we have very, very low relative humidity out here, and we don't know what humidity is. So on average, 20 to 30% relative humidity outside. So we have very, very dry weather.
Chris was getting nosebleeds before with his old system.
Yeah. Well, not
that's right.
But I was just always had dry skin and stuff, and I don't anymore.
Right here.
1 second, Steve. Now I'm seeing yours to rebuild them, all coils and guts. I keep on putting them on the screen. Leave it on the screen. Okay. Wow. Rebuild them, all coils and guts. Keep the box of the unit. Yeah. Okay. Actually, that's a good idea. Actually, I see what he's saying.
Have you ever seen? There's a couple different ways too, and I know this is hacky, but I've never done it. But I've always been ready to do it. I've been excited to try it. But have you ever seen where people will put like a residential split system condenser and then pipe it in for the evaporator that's in the unit? I've seen people do that too. I mean, people do what they got to do to make package units work. So
true, but then heat. Though, I gotta still get something for heat. We have gas upstairs, so
heat pump, baby.
I still want to. Oh gosh,
no,
but
you don't want to I do that much, but
I do like that platform idea. We could leave the actual platform with the return supply and whatever void, and just plumb to it that way. Put the coil in. I don't know. I got to think of it. We'll see what's easier.
The thing is, Joe, like once you start doing goofy stuff like that, it gets more and more difficult to try to seal up.
Anybody echo?
You sound horrible, dude. You sound completely horrible.
And you don't look good either. And I noticed that you only have 2 of your joist spaces are insulated above your head. The rest of them,
keep on nailing them. Keep on nailing them. Where are those vintage toys?
Horrible. Are you guys hearing Adam?
Yeah, he sounds horrible too. But
beside the point. Yeah. And actually, those aren't insulated. Those are all insulated. You just can't see it.
Man, we got everybody in here. Will Steve's in here too. What's up, Will?
Yeah, cool.
I haven't seen Will in a while.
Dang, Steve Rogers was in here. Chris Hughes was in here. There's a bunch of people in here, man. Yeah. Ryan Sanders.
Sorry, Bill. I want to say just one thing. The DJ I'm using it. I just use it again today for gas pressure. You know what, guys? Anybody wants to buy the other guys' manometers I have another set of manometers I have from another company. I don't use them anymore because they're just too drifty and shady. So if anybody wants to buy them, let me know. Please inquire. Because I just use a DJ for everything now.
I tell you what, I will negotiate this sale with Joe's tools.
Oh, so I already know where it's going.
To me, and then I'll send Joe some like some Chick-fil-A gift cards or something in payment. So.
Or maybe I just give them away on the show. There you go. There's an
you
idea.
go.
Maybe a Christmas thing. Just give away those manometers on the show.
Well, you can give them away this Christmas, and by the time they get it, it'll be next Christmas.
Yeah, Chris buys all new high-end tools for everybody, and Joe's giving away his rotten used tools.
Yeah.
No, what do you? I'm not gonna say the name brand, but they're decent. They're decent manometers. I just don't use them anymore.
Is it Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
From
I just
Harbor
rather
Freight.
use the
Is
DJ
it
for
Harbor
everything.
Freight?
No Harbor Freight. It's a name brand. It's just
a name
Like
brand.
the Harbor
So
Freight screwdriver, the 7.5 and 1.
What do we usually know? What did we always use except the DJ before the DJ came along?
It's the sun in Adam's room. That's a good one, Jesus Fish. Yeah, fuck Adam and his stupid camera.
yeah. So
Joe, you couldn't
what
sell
if
I'm trying to
shit.
plug in a different mic because you guys keep yelling at me. So please
he's
just
trying to make
pump the
himself
brakes.
seem better than Bill
Thank
right now.
God.
Are you
Talk among
inside of a tanning bed right now?
A power fister? What are we doing here?
Oh, a power fister to that. Now we're talking. I'm glad I showed
Isn't
up.
was that the Bruno movie? Is that what that was from? Where he had the bicycle? When he
power
would pedal, it would like up the yeah. I don't remember what movie that was, but yeah.
I just want to say, I don't understand how my audio or my camera or any of this nonsensical bullshit ever changes. Like, I don't understand how the quality changes.
Dude, your quality right now is on point. Right now, it is perfect.
I'm not gonna. It's doing great then. Thank
Yeah.
you, Roadcaster. I'm not gonna say anything.
It's not the Roadcaster. I think you're right, though. It's your internet, because every once in a while it drops out on the back end. The bass and everything's there, but like your audio just like drops out.
Check. Does it sound any better?
Yes.
Listen, I don't understand that. I'm literally hardwired in. I feel like it was better when I was up on the second floor trying to suck Wi-Fi through a ceiling and 2 walls, and now I'm plugged right into the fucking modem, baby, and this is what I get.
Why did you take down all the insulation?
What are you talking about?
Wait, do you have Power Fister tools, Joe?
That's
It's a
right.
cheat
Power
sheet.
Fister. And now the
Wait,
cyborg
is
says
that really a tool name?
it is. It is. I've seen Power Fist.
Tool name?
Yeah.
I don't think it's Power
Fister?
Fister. I
Yeah.
think it's called P Fister. but it's not tools. It's like
I thought I've seen
the-
Power in there. Let me
Wait,
look it
isn't
up.
that the
Power.
Price Fisher? Isn't that the freaking
No.
the
No, it's just-
bathtub?
I think I
Valve
saw that at like
manufacturer?
a sex shop. a
Aren't those
while
rubber
back.
hands that you jam in your ass and spin around?
Jesus.
I feel like we don't make
Power
fun of
Fister.
enough.
Yes, Power Fister. That is our thing. That's from like you said.
Hell, anonymous.
Cyborg.
Nobody else's unit.
Princess Auto.
Are you guys really that dumb to make a name
Yeah.
called Power Fister?
I know.
Hey, dude, no way. Who approved that?
Yeah,
Dude.
and they're the shittiest tools.
Like, that's
was
a
the
great
board.
name, gang. Power Fister. Let's
Can we get some Power Fister tools to review? Like, this is awesome.
Sure. They're like dimes.
Everyone email the company Power
Amen.
Fister and tell them they should.
They're
send you-
going to email the wrong Power Fister.
just like
Be like, this isn't what I ordered.
we should start a line of tools called like the Milk Dud Liquors.
Oh, man.
bum dumpling.
Funny.
Bum dumpling. I haven't heard that in a while.
So how you doing, Bill? What you been up to?
Oh man. It's been a little bit of a night with the baby. Got my baby monitor right here just in case I have an emergency. I'm on call. I'm on call for baby duty tonight.
Do you like switch off who's on call?
Kind of like it's my wife works weekends now, so she usually takes control all week, and then Friday, Saturday night is my turn to kind of step up.
I heard you're supposed to let babies cry it out.
Yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
kind of afraid to Google Power Fister. I don't want that to be on my search results.
Power Fist.
Dude.
Power Fist.
I think it's Power Fister, Joe.
I can't.
Even if it is Power Fist, that's still
Oh, yeah,
ridiculous.
no, Power Fist tools. Yeah,
You're gonna be on some kind of watch list after this.
I know. I'm a freaking. I'm done. Princess Auto. Power Fist.
I want to Google that too.
I feel left
Do me a
out.
favor. No, it's I'm wrong. It's Power Fister with an R. That's the right way to Google it.
Let's see.
Power Fister.
Power Fister.
If motor pulley is adjusted out to allow belt to go towards the shaft, motor pulley.
Well, if I type in power fist or
Yes.
sex boy, what does that bring?
Less amps. And CFMs will probably drop as well.
It's literally just crappy ass tools.
Just like what you'd think. Look at that, dude. Look at that giant arm. That's what it is. That's the amount of tools that Joe uses. Right there, guys. All right. Hey, welcome to Canada. Try to do that with your hand. Like, imagine that inside you.
Whoa.
I was looking at the black one in the corner.
No kidding, right?
Wow.
It looks like a lamp pole.
Wow. Hi, Jessica. Oh, Joe for the Ocho.
Oh, god damn.
I bet back in the olden days, they had to like put those on a river and like walk on them to roll them down to get them from point A to point B. Logs.
That was a good one. That was good.
Look at Miki Mutu's comment.
Except back in the day, they were
oh my god,
lumberjacks. They call them dildo jacks, and like, oh, we got to get the dildos down the river to the next quarter town.
Wait. Look at Tom. Wait, Tom.
Those ones. Look at
this
those.
Is where my girl says, "What the fuck are you listening to?"
Sorry, Tom.
Oh, dude, that's on Amazon.
Oh my god.
Why does it got an arc to it? It's got an arc.
I mean, you ain't gonna hit the G spot going straight at it.
Anywho, poor Tom wants to talk about VRF, and we're talking about curves.
He had a double-handed power fister. Look at that. It's got a hand on both sides.
Oh my god.
Like shaking hands with a friend. And look at that, dude.
Let me see if I can pick him off.
Oh, man. Whose idea was this?
Anyways, your local HVAC guy. Hey, Joe, I visited Canada last week. A lot of woods north of Toronto. Where did you go north of Toronto? Local HVAC guy. There goes Adam's image.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh. This is what happens when you don't come to the show for like 2 months, Adam. Welcome back.
You see what we talked about last week when we were on.
Oh, damn. Bill, Neil C. Vids, that's the thing about Bill. He never knows when to stop. He goes to the edge, and then he just goes right past it.
Yeah. Special Olympics, man. Remember that?
Oh, man.
That's awesome. Bancroft area. That's cool.
All right, let's get on with some educational stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So any educational stuff you've been up to, Bill, or what? Anything?
Oh, this week has been super just kind of dull, easy.
How'd you make out with that that ultra boiler?
Oh, the cleaning of it.
Yeah, you did take it all apart. You got a maintenance kit, right?
Yeah, I got the at first, let me tell you, at first I didn't have that sword, you know, the Well McLean tool that you used to 45 straight on it and 90 or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't have that at first. I used the first one, I'm not gonna lie, I used a hacksaw blade just to kind of get in there and knock some stuff out.
I mean, that's definitely better than not doing anything.
Yeah. And because it took a minute to get the tool, so I didn't order it in time. But it was honestly really simple.
It's just like a pain because of the way they cast that aluminum. A lot of times it's hard to get even though the tool's made for it, like it gets jammed in there.
Yeah.
Too, like some of those slots where the I don't know, what are those little things called, the little pins that are inside the heat exchanger that add surface area to the inside of the heat exchanger?
Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
Whatever. Like, I noticed some are like real close and some are like there's definitely a
difference.
A gapping issue. But
do you use I usually try to flush it out too as I'm going through. Did you flush it?
When I was done. I mean, there was so much crap in the bottom, like not even from knocking the stuff loose on the top. When I got done and I went all the way down to the bottom, there was just like stalagmites or stalactites.
You gotta just keep hosing the bottom and keep pushing it towards the drain.
Down the bottom.
And then the last thing I do is take the drain trap off and clean the drain trap out and then refill it up and boom, you know.
Oh, see what I was doing is I took my shop back and I took the condensate drain off there, put the shop back up in there, and just kind of let that suck as I was just chopping away the.
Oh, that's even a better deal than what I'm telling you, because you could actually probably clog your condensate drain the way I was telling
you. Yeah. I flushed it when I was done just to get a little bit of the sediment out of it.
The other thing, two things I was going to tell you too. If you haven't noticed that sensor, the flue sensor, we're talking about ultra boilers. If you guys are not familiar with Wild McLean boilers, this is like the redheaded stepchild of boilers, right?
Sure.
No offense to anyone that's a redhead or a stepchild in here, but that flue sensor, Bill, you got to make sure you grab it by the grommet when you're pulling it out, because otherwise that whole Mullix plug will separate from the sensor and then you have no heat.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I had to change that grommet, and I thought I was going to separate the shell of it from the rest of it, just because it was on there so tight. I mean, it was real loose in the flue itself, but
and when you stick it in, you put the grommet in first, and then slide the sensor into it. Makes it easier.
Oh no, I didn't do that. I just had the grommet, and then I put it in there, and then I put the whole thing in the flue.
Yeah. We're talking in circles here. There was one other thing I was going to mention to you. Oh, last thing about that condensate drain. When you're looking into the block on the bottom, right by where the drain comes out of the heat exchanger, that's right where they always rot. So I always try to pay a lot of attention at the bottom, because the condensate is acidic and it rots
right in that little sort of cup that or that beveled bottom side of it. That's where it usually rots out at.
Like, and you'll get water.
I don't even know what material that is too. That always rots out. What is that? It's not aluminum.
Cast aluminum.
Yeah.
Is it cast aluminum?
I mean, like the mechanics of those boilers looks pretty simple, but I don't know. How are the electronics on them to troubleshoot? I was thinking about this today. I've never troubleshot a boiler in my life.
That boiler is actually really easy. Like the newer version. So that's like that's a series 3 that you were working on, because it had like when you touch it, it had like the blue screen, right?
Yep.
It's like the bigger screen, So like the earlier, like the series 1 and I think the series 2, it's like a LED, like a VCR looking display, and it just says like P1.1. Weird. It's weird. That thing's a pain in the butt to try to mess with. The one that you were working on is easy.
Jason saying Lochner or V-Spin for the win.
Speaking.
Oh, it's another name brand. It's been a while, forever. Actually, speaking of Lochner, I have these FBNs. I think I mentioned it to you guys. FBNs 150s, a million BTUs, 500, whatever it is, and that's a huge screw up. Somebody screwed up huge. Two of them piped right into the building loop. No boiler pumps, no primary, secondary. What, as you know,
condensing
boilers. One is being starved. Actually, I just got a call today from one of the other guy who was coming partner with another senior guy. We put the heat exchanger back, because I took it apart. He put it back. It's still, you should see the differential on this one. Yeah, it's one starving of water. There's probably no flow at all. You got these two huge building pumps going, no boiler pumps, no primary, secondary.
Well, they're aren't they messing the flow through the entire building? Because like, if it's a condensing boiler, you have probably a fairly high pressure drop through the heat exchanger, right?
Right. And they expect to have a million, and they're a million BTUs, and you got two of them, no close tees, no injection into the secondary loop. It's just piped right in. So you got the building loop going, you got the boilers going, thinking these pumps are even gonna. Yeah.
Is there any chance that whatever application they're using it for, it's designed to do that? Like that just seems crazy, but
it's high temp. No, it's what they're using it for. You have to have primary, secondary, no matter what. Like some boilers you probably get away with, but
simple like a apprentice question here. So primary and secondary loop, right? You're talking. So the primary loop is the boiler just does a loop and heats up this loop,
inject into the other loop, pretty much.
The building just sucks off of that loop.
Yeah, so think of it like there's a small pump that the one pump's only job is to move the water through the boiler. That's it. And then you're basically stealing water from the boiler or the building loop. You're pulling it out, pushing it through the boiler, and then popping it back into the building.
The building is the secondary loop.
Yeah.
The boiler pump in its little circle is the primary loop.
Technically, you could call it the boiler loop, primary loop, and then all your branches off. It could be secondary loops. But whatever.
Yeah.
Or not.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
There's like everyone calls it different things. Somebody says boiler loop, primary, secondary, whatever. But that's how it works. You're basically decoupling the system, right?
Right. you know, I don't know this. I don't know what they were thinking. You know, I honestly think they piped it for non-condensing boilers because you probably might get away with it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Another thing that just popped in
my
brain is, so if you're running just the building pump through there, then I assume the building pump is going faster, moving more water than the boiler pump that should have been installed would be moving. Is that correct?
Sure, but the building pump is going to do like anything else. It's going to go the fastest way possible, the fastest direction possible. So you're going to miss the boiler. You got pressure loss through the boiler. It's not going to even bother going to that second boiler.
How do they have it? Is it going through 90s, like 90 and down and back up, or is it T's? Are they T'ing it?
Oh, it's 90s. Like I believe I only been there once. I can't wait to go back. I'm going to take all kinds of pictures. But pumps and the supplies go up, over, and then down because we're on the top floor to the friggin' secondary loops, wherever they're branching off, either coils, whatever. And then the returns comes back, and it tees back into the two big pumps on the floor. And then it comes back. I can't remember now. But anyways, I drew it out once.
No, there's no heat exchanger. It's just like different pumps. Like Hausch was saying, there could be different flow rates. Absolutely. Like maybe the boiler needs a certain flow through it, and the building needs another flow through it. Or a lot of times with the condensing boilers you see in residential, I'm not big on commercial. I've done small commercial boilers and that, but you'll have a higher pressure drop through the heat exchanger of the boiler, right? So you need a pump dedicated just to
take care of that pressure loss. Yeah, exactly. And that's all you're pretty much doing with that boiler pump. That's all it's meant to do.
How old is this system?
And it's not that old. That's the whole point. So, he mentioned something, and then I mentioned something. He's talking about bypass. It's not a bypass. I'm trying to distill something in this old guy's head that doesn't need a bypass. It doesn't need no bypass. It's not an old boiler. We just need a primary, secondary. But he said that as well. So we're kind of working together on this. But it's not an old setup. We did it, but at that time we contracted to another mechanical company. And then another engineer, I'm looking at the drawings. So we're just trying to see who's going to get the blame here. Because I know this guy's going to say, oh, okay, I'm just going to go after him, that guy. So we have to be careful kind of how we approach this. Because it's never going to work right. I'm telling you, it's never going to work right. And I just took apart with the one boiler. And there's an issue already. He was telling me there's an issue already. Of course there's an issue. We have no flow through that boiler. So it's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Is it their first heating season?
Sorry?
Is this their first heating season with it?
No, it's not their first. No. But it was never running 100% since they did it, which was maybe, I don't know how many years. Not that long.
Did you ever go back to that, what was that, the warehouse refrigerator that you had? That something about the, I forget exactly, because...
not enough capacity? Right? No, that's still... We proposed to them. He's going in court right now through the original people who did that system, that big, huge cooler. So I guess he's waiting for a settlement to do it. I don't know, but we already suggested, listen, these things, they're freezing back each one. Like, it's like, what's it called? I forget the word. But anyways, you're screwing these systems up. You're going to screw these systems up. They're already there. So you got to, jump on it. You're
going to have to go in and testify. But like, yep, I'm the one who said they're...
I'll let the old guy do it. That's for sure. I'm not. Let the old guy do it.
How did you?
Actually, he already went to a couple meetings. He told me. Actually, sorry, Adam. He already told me he went to a couple meetings already. So it's in the process already.
About court.
Yeah, I guess meetups, arbitration. Who knows? But it's going, and it sucks because this same tenant building left this other huge warehouse because it was smaller. And that other huge warehouse has all these Lennoxes that are like older, but they have the copper fin coil, so they don't have all the leaks. Now this new thing, he's like, this cooler's fucked up. He also has all these Lennoxes with the aluminum coil, so they're all like five of them that have a condenser leak. So it's just crazy how it works sometimes.
And
someone said that I'm quiet. It's because I know nothing about boilers, so I have nothing to contribute to the conversation.
How'd your spaghetti sauce turn out, Joe?
Great.
Dude, my family has a secret spaghetti sauce recipe.
You put sugar in it.
100%, dude. You put sugar in it.
If you put sugar in it,
that's like the true Italian way. You put
I ain't putting no sugar in my spaghetti.
Never sugar. Never. No sugar in pasta sauce. If you're putting sugar in pasta sauce,
what is pasta
you're not
sauce?
making it right.
I buy Ragu spaghetti sauce.
Spaghetti sauce, bro. Get it right.
Sorry, I got something
right there.
Yeah.
Well, because Joe won't send me any of his family's sauce.
I will. Yeah. I will. But again, Chris, Jason, Ryan, and Steve. Of course, Chris, you're the master, buddy.
Like a week ago.
I'm editing a video today as we speak. So hopefully we start fluid out and we're gonna start keep on doing videos again. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh, it's so I'm testing something out. I'm officially gonna be filming on my iPhone now.
Oh, the new iPhone. You got it, didn't you?
Yeah, I got the new iPhone, and camera's supposed to be better. Microphones, that's the biggest thing about Apple. Microphones are supposed to be better, so I'm gonna start trying to film on my new iPhone. So
are you gonna film more of the Apprentice series stuff?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny how everybody's asking for that. I put out one video and I called it my Apprentice series, and then everybody's asking, when are you gonna do more? When are you gonna do more? It's like,
dude,
I'll get to it.
So going through the comments this week, like it's two things: Apprentice series mostly, and then everybody, just all the comments about how nasty that last, not your last video, but the one before that.
Oh yeah,
nasty that restaurant was. Like it's just,
that's not even nasty. That's why I don't reveal. Like that's why you have to be so careful about revealing restaurant names, because what the general public thinks is gross, that's nothing.
It's
like,
normal.
That's nothing.
Like, what they think is gross is normal.
Yep.
Like, oh, you should call the health department. Like, I wouldn't eat there. I can't believe you work. I can't believe you risk your health.
Imagine there's so many comments in there, people criticizing me because I didn't call the health department on the restaurant that hired me. Get the fuck out of here.
Can you imagine? Like, I'm the mechanical contractor that calls the health department.
Yeah. It's like every restaurant that I walk into, I'm gonna call the health department on my customers to make sure I'm thinning out the herd. You know, I don't want a customer base.
Rat them out. That would be such a dick move.
100%. I'm there because they don't want the health department to get them in trouble. Duh, they want to fix the problem. So I'm fixing it.
And if I was in a restaurant and saw a guy peeing in a bucket in the kitchen, I still wouldn't call the health department.
Jason Johnson, I know a series is more than one. It's just funny because people won't leave me alone about it. I'm gonna do more. 100%.
Series is more.
Well, whatever happened to your house series?
Oh yeah,
it's on a pause. It'll start again. It's cooling down. It just needs to cool down.
That was season 1, and we're approaching season 2.
Wait for season 2.
Yes, season 2 is coming up. We had to take a break because it got way too hot and I was exhausted.
When are you gonna start filming season 2?
When I get done with whatever project I'm working on right now. We got to get these floors done in my house first. We're getting new floors, and then once that's done, then I can start
series. So I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on.
And I discussed with my wife that I don't want to jinx myself, but I might dust off the old tools channel and start posting some tools videos. So
totally forgot about that channel.
I'm getting sick and tired of all these tool manufacturers emailing me, asking me to promote their tools. And I'm like, I don't want to promote tools because I don't have a tools channel right now. Like I don't post tool reviews on my channel. So that's why I created the tool channel. And yeah.
I almost name dropped the tool channel. A couple weeks ago, we had a meeting, and one of the bigwigs from our main branch in Fort Wayne, Indiana, came down and had this meeting with us. And he's like the tool guy, safety guy of the company. And he's like, just send me email all the tools you want. Also, like if any of you guys like want to try out tools, because sometimes manufacturers send me tools and they want feedback on them. They want us to try them out, see if they work, see if they do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, send it to me, bro. Like, I'll test it out, man. And I almost told him, like, hey, I don't know if you recognize me, but we got this tool channel. We can get you places. We get you
even in the overtime email. How many things we get in there saying work with you?
Yeah, what's the most recent email that I'm like, do you know who you're emailing? Wait, hold on. It's in the overtime, and I was like, wait, for real?
Is it like a hair straightener or something?
No, Partstown. Partstown.
Oh yes. Yeah,
and they want to know if we'd be willing to have a Partstown person on the overtime show. And part of me wants to email them and be like,
really?
Do you know what this show is? But then the other part's like, no, fuck it. Let's just have Partstown on the overtime show.
We would totally have Partstown on the overtime show. I used to buy parts from them all the time. You still buy parts from them, Chris?
Oh yeah, I bought parts from them. I don't like it because they're expensive as hell, but it is what it is, and it's there. So
they're like the Granger of food service parts, I guess.
Well, they basically just go across the country and started buying up all the service companies. They're one of the biggest HVAC restaurant service company owners too. They own a bunch of service companies, and
that's weird though. Why did they like? What's their idea? What's their end game? Like, what's their goal?
Happy Friday. Any interest in connecting with Partstown for your show? Happy to offer a conversation that can cover their HVAC solutions, including the latest trucks. This isn't someone from Partstown. This is a person that is a marketer, and they just looked up HVAC podcast. And because we have the #1 HVAC podcast, they emailed
in the world.
Ding, ding.
Sorry, Ryan.
There you go. Sorry.
Even though we haven't ever made a list of podcasts anywhere, or live streams, or YouTube programs, or nobody in
the industry. YouTube podcast because someone does it. Me.
Listen, if it's not on a list, and if Jen from the Misfits doesn't read it off, then it doesn't count.
Oh God.
All right.
What are you saying? Take pictures.
You know what I'm saying.
Oh, hey, breaking news. I got in a lottery to see the Savannah Bananas because apparently you can't just buy tickets when they tour. You have to like enter the lottery.
What is a Savannah Banana?
Savannah Bananas, they're a minor league baseball team that just goes out there and does like silly antics out there.
Oh, like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball?
Yeah,
yes.
like Globetrotters. But for
so
baseball,
it's not minor league.
Huge running bases and stilts, and I've always wanted to see them. And they tour around the country. They have 2 teams that tour together, and they just play each other.
Yeah, kind of like, doesn't the whole Harlem Globetrotter do that? But like the guys from the teams will switch, you know, like obviously like they'll just kind of switch teams and play around like that.
Yeah. I haven't gotten tickets yet. I just got my name in a lottery to potentially get tickets. So
I wonder, is there like a football version of this or a soccer version of this idea, this concept?
In America, North America, that's the only one I see.
No, you've only got Harlem Globetrotters and Savannah Bananas that I know of. And then whatever the other Savannah Bananas team is, but they're the same team. They play together.
I think they got a couple more now. I think they have 4 teams now or something.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Really? Probably they tour. It's actually a pretty good story if you read. It's from Savannah, Georgia, right? And if you read about the guy, he bought the team. It was a rundown team that was basically bankrupt and completely dead. And he basically, if I remember it right, like he put everything that he had on the line and bought this shitty ass team and then made something of it. And it turned into this big, supposedly success. It's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I've always thought they were funny and look really cool, and I want to see them one day. So they tour, and next year they're coming May and September. In May or September are the 2 options that I have to potentially see them. So.
You know, we got this place in Detroit called the Greenfield Village, and I don't know if anybody watching is familiar with the Greenfield Village, but it's basically this giant village that Henry Ford built, and it's got all the things, like it's got the Orville brothers. Is the Orville brothers
like the popcorn?
No, not the popcorn.
Orville Redenbacher.
Not
like the old man. You remember him, like the really old man with glasses. Orville Redenbacher.
Anyway, like they got one of the courthouses. Abraham Lincoln was an attorney in. Like they got all these historical buildings. They got the guy who invented peanut butter. What's his name? The black dude, Henry Carver Washington or something like that. But they have all of these historical buildings in this village. You can walk through there, and they have actors like portraying old-timey folk that are supposed to be doing it. But one of the cool things they have is they have an old-timey baseball team that puts on like old-timey baseball games, and it's pretty neat. It's like watching what's that movie where they had the baseball team in the cornfield?
Oh, the one where the dude goes nuts and plows his cornfield. Yeah. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams, yep, that one.
Kevin Costner.
Oh yeah. How they have Edison's building there where he invented the light bulb. Wright brothers, not the Orville brothers. Who said the fucking Orville brothers?
I'm telling you, they're popcorn, right?
I have a random question. I'm asking the chat, and I'm asking the 3 of you guys.
What?
Who is the best Batman actor?
Michael Keaton.
100%. I agree too. Michael Keaton, best
Who's
Batman
the second
actor.
though?
I don't know, because Michael Keaton overshadows all of them.
I mean, mine is kind of controversial. I'm going with Ben Affleck. I think he's a pretty good Batman.
No.
I like him.
I don't know if I have a second favorite, dude. I think Michael Keaton still is my number one. I actually said that because Ty Brannaman, his wife, posted a picture and she said she cloned Ty. And then I made a comment like, didn't this happen in the movie Multiplicity? And then I said with Michael Keaton, the best Batman actor ever.
Yo, Affleck sucked. I actually liked him as Batman. If you guys seen the new Beetlejuice movie,
I haven't yet. No, I haven't.
Pretty good.
Is it like for rent for free yet, or do you have to pay for it?
It's not rent for free yet. I think you might be able to pay to stream it. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure yet, but
I did.
We saw it in the theater. Me and my little one went to it.
So nobody in the chat. Okay, wait. I see one person saying Michael Keaton, Will Speed, but everybody else in the chat. Okay, so Affleck, Adam West, the '60s Batman. Okay, I mean, I kind of get that. The Batman TV series.
I mean, he had real skinny arms and legs. It looks so weird.
Yeah, Michael Keaton still was my favorite, I think.
100%, yeah. And I don't know if it's so much like Michael Keaton himself. I mean, he did a good job playing Batman, but overall, it was for me, it was Tim Burton's view.
Yeah.
Like his whole movie was just a lot of his stuff. I really enjoy a lot of his stuff. Which is
when you think of Robin, though, do you think of the Robin from this 1960s show?
Yes. Holy rusty metal, Batman.
Yeah.
No, see, I think of what's that guy's name? Chris
O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Well, Chris O'Donnell's character was the one that actually said "Holy rusty metal, Batman," but it was a throwback to the '60s Robin.
Yeah,
because he would have a new saying whenever there was something happening. He would come up with something.
I definitely. When you mention Robin, it's the first thing I think of.
This is what I think of the movie talk. I don't know if you can see it.
See that?
Bill peeing in a toilet.
Is that a warm?
Bill's Wong.
Peeing in the toilet?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll change the subject just to piss you off a little bit more, Joe. But I don't think I've been on here since. But a couple weeks ago, I went to Riot Fest. I took my son.
Yes, dude.
And that was the last. That was the fourth to the last NoFX show ever, and the last NoFX show in Chicago.
I've never seen them in my life, dude, and I'm jealous.
Their last 3 shows are in California, I believe.
Yes.
But we talked to him after, and he's just like, I'm done. And he's like, I'm not saying I'm done. Like, hey, 2 years from now, we're going to do a reunion. He's like, we've been doing this for 40 years, and I'm kind of over singing stupid songs, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if I've ever heard a NoFX song.
Oh, dude. The NoFX got me through some good moments in high school. I found NoFX when you had to go to the warehouse, the record store, right? And I could only afford the used CDs. So you go to the used CD section of the warehouse, and then I would search for, I remember one night I was scrolling through the TV and there was an infomercial, and one of NoFX's songs was playing. And I was like, I really like that song. What is that? And then I saw it was NoFX, and then I remember going to the warehouse and I would buy everything that I could until I found a song that I liked. And then eventually you learn to like everything.
Yeah. If Bill listened to NoFX, like it's not his style of music, but I feel like he would enjoy the lyrics quite a bit.
Liza and Louise. If you listen to the saga of Liza and Louise, and that one's fun. And then what's the song? I don't think it's the song title, but "Murder the Government."
Yeah,
is that the title of the song? I don't know.
No.
I think that was the song that drew me to NoFX was "Murder the Government." And then like I was like, what is that? He's like telling a story, but like talking. And then I started liking everything else.
Yeah,
I just noticed Clive's comment.
Yeah, Liza and Louise was a funny one because that was late 90s, and it was talking about lesbians totally like getting it on, and that was unheard of, like nobody really talked about that.
So did you listen to the older like CDs like White Trash, 2 Eves and a Bean?
I'm pretty sure I have, but I'm not going to say that I'm super familiar with song names, but I just listened to everything forever. So
yeah.
I think we listened to the songs live last week.
We totally. We didn't get a bunch of emails either.
What?
We were getting blown up with emails saying we were demonetized. So last week I was like, fuck it, we get demonetized for everything. So we just played music on the show the whole time. So
we didn't even talk. We just played music the whole time.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I didn't even know you guys have a show.
Yeah, fuck that. Here, watch this. Let me find. Let's see if Bill recognizes any NoFX right now.
Yeah, let's play NoFX.
Like the most mainstream one or something.
There's nothing mainstream.
No, we had such a good show. You're gonna kill it.
The most popular one.
Okay, here you go. This is probably
the most popular one is Linoleum.
I would say Bob, dude. Bob?
No.
Bob's that's probably one of my most popular.
They're already watching us because all these names are popping out. They're hearing it. Ding, 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 ding. As soon as we do it, boom.
Just play Bob.
I'll play Bob. Hold on just a second. Here we go.
Spent 15 years getting loaded. 15 years cause liver exploded. Now what's Bob gonna do now that he can't drink? The doctor said, what you been thinking about? Bob said that's the point.
Is this our intermission?
Yep.
No, I was hoping this was our ending.
We'll be back in a minute.
All right, press pause.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You got to listen to the lyrics, though, Bill. Like, after this show, I want your homework assignment is to listen to Liza and Louise.
I can definitely see the link between, like, Blink 182, you know, the influence that they must have had on Blink, and, like, Sum 41 and, like, that genre of sort of goofy
NoFX, the easiest way is if you understand NoFX, they started the same time as a lot of the other punk bands that started, like Green Day. They started around the same time. You'll hear him tell stories about Billy Joe Armstrong and stuff, but NoFX basically had a chip on their shoulder and refused to ever sell out. And so he created his own record label, started signing artists so that way they didn't have to sell out to the bigger record labels, and it just became this thing. But he refused to ever, in his eyes, sell out.
Who's the singer of that band? Is it Fat Mike?
Fat Mike.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh.
And they were, I would even almost argue, were they the start of ska? Like,
no, I wouldn't say so, but they did some. I mean, they started in like 1984-ish.
Yeah.
Wow. I was born in 82.
And they have, I mean, and when you listen to it, dude, there's trumpets, there's drums, there's everything playing, and they make it work with everything too.
It's a little weird because Chris will go from this to like some bizarre yacht rock song that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. Was I was telling the story about how Crosby, Stills, and Nash song
like that
took me to a place. Yep,
G.G. Allen. G.G. Allen used to play at a bar in Chicago that I used to frequent all the time called Exit. It's a punk rock and heavy metal bar.
You guys ever listen to Ween?
I have. I mean, it's not something that I like, but I have.
I don't know if I really like their music other than I've seen them live a couple times. And I like the live shows. Gene and Dean Ween. Yeah, I like
referring to the ska comment, like I know that NoFX started before ska became popular, right? Because ska was like 94, 96, 98. Save Ferris, those bands, Real Big Fish.
That's cool.
Squirrel Nut Zippers, like all those different bands. I listened to all them too.
Zippers.
In the Afterlife, Squirrel Nut Zippers.
Yes. See, Squirrel Nut Zippers. What was that song that I like by them? That's
Afterlife.
Afterlife, dude. That's the only song that anybody knows by Squirrel Nut Zippers.
I'm thinking of this Boston band. Fucking, it's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it right now.
Speaking of zippers, I can't stand when my zipper, my jeans keeps falling down when I'm working. So I gotta get something from Temu to keep my zipper up.
How about you just buy pants that don't fall down the zipper, bro?
I don't know. It just
maybe you need to stop buying.
So wait a second. You're gonna enter your credit card information and you're gonna give them your address.
Yeah, Mighty Boston.
I already did. I did a few times.
That's awesome, Joe. He trusts this China.
Yeah.
He trusts this China corporation that is a communist that's spying on us, right? That's what he trusts, but he doesn't trust his three best friends.
True.
Nope. Nope. We don't know. Like we know the tiniest bit about Joe, but we know a little bit more than everybody else. But I'm talking just a tiny bit more.
Well, I'll tell you who knows more.
Who?
China.
His girlfriend.
China.
China.
Yeah.
And the Russian mob.
Speaking of zippers, I found a glory hole. Pretty sure it's a glory hole at a JCPenney the other day.
Did you take a picture?
Oh wow!
I was going to, but then I kind of forgot. I got distracted by some other stuff that was going on behind me. You know what I'm
How
saying?
do you get distracted by anything when you're looking at a glory hole?
Well, see, I was sitting on the can and I look over and there's like almost waist level. So for me, it's like eye level. And there's this square patch of metal, like probably like that big, and it's riveted to the partition. I'm like, what else could that be? It's not a toilet paper holder.
So my question is, did somebody walk in there with like a battery powered drill and a hole saw to drill said glory hole?
I would assume so. I mean, how else do you get it? A pack of rubber grommets.
They put rubber grommets so you don't hurt
I
yourself.
thought I'd find you here.
What are you doing here?
I thought I'd find you here at the old glory hole.
I thought I told you to wait in the car.
It got hot in the car and you have the keys.
Candace, I'm kind of busy right now.
Richard, get out of that glory hole.
I can explain this.
13 years of marriage and time after time, I find you back here at the old GD glory hole.
I'm sorry, I was weak.
Get out of the glory hole, Richard.
Okay, are you mad? Can we talk about this?
We can talk about this, but first, you need to get out of that glory hole.
I want you to know that you're 100% right, and I'm wrong. And I just
get out of the glory hole.
Okay, I will. Candace, I love you, and I know we're meant to be together. But lately, it seems like, and maybe it's me.
All the time you're telling me this, and you have your thing stuck in that glory hole. You hate me, don't you?
Yes.
You said yes.
Oh, no. I wasn't saying yes to you. Sorry, I was saying yes to the glory hole.
I can't believe you can look me in the eye while some strange man is performing sin on you.
Whoa. Who said anything about it being a man? That's the beauty of the glory hole, is that you don't know who's on the other side. It could be anybody from...
Richard, get out of the glory hole.
Okay, I will.
Get out.
I will.
Out of the glory hole.
Hold, wait, time out.
Get out.
Time out.
Get,
Just
what?
time out. Time out, Candace.
Richard!
Okay.
Get out.
All right, wait.
Out.
Shh.
Okay, what?
Did you hear that? Someone's in here. I heard someone get in here. Be quiet. Shh.
Rich!
Okay.
Get out.
I will.
Out
All right.
of the glory hole.
Wait.
Out of the glory hole now. Get out.
Just wait. 1 second. Please. Wait. Hold on. Okay, I'm finished.
Wow.
Dang.
All you got to do is say one thing and then fucking random shit pops up. Dude, someone literally just dialed me 3 times. I hung up and then they called again. And then I hung up and then they called again and then I hung up. And they didn't leave a voicemail. So apparently it wasn't that important.
No.
China.
Yeah, it's China. China calling you.
All right.
Sounds like a blinker. says tick, 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 tick on the frickin' voicemail. Doesn't sound that important. Leave me a message. It's important.
I think next month I'm going to sign up for a steam boiler class that's coming around.
Ew.
I got 2 locations that have steam boilers.
Oh.
So I guess it couldn't hurt, you know.
By the way, don't Google search glory hole on YouTube because a bunch of stuff comes up. That video comes up, which was what I was looking for, but a bunch of other stuff that I'm like, I don't want that on my search results.
I want to look at it.
Yeah.
I actually have a.
I shouldn't click on that one.
Can you imagine, like, sometimes, like, my wife will be talking, and I'll be like texting somebody, and I'll feel bad because she'll like catch me in the mid text. I'm like, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. Imagine like you're in a glory hole. Get out of the glory hole.
Next week I have a Prism Aeon class going to.
That's fun.
I had a very satisfying service call last week.
Like glory hole satisfying?
Well, I mean, for me, for Chris, yeah, totally. But I had a service call on a manufacturer's brand new refrigerator, and it had a bad compressor. And then I ended up finding that all 3 of the TXVs had loose sensing bulbs because after I changed the compressor, I couldn't figure out why it was failing or what caused it to fail, right? Because I'm digging, but I kept seeing these weird hunting superheat swings when I was checking the thing, and I'm like, something's got to be wrong. And every TXV, dude, the sensing bulbs, they might as well have been just sitting there. Like they were strapped, but they weren't strapped tight. And that was it.
That's a good find.
Was there an actual gap between it? Like was
no,
it?
No, it was just you can grab the sensing bulb and move it. So as the pipe would get cold, it would, the ice would build and it wouldn't really sense the pipe temperature more than likely. But that was a very cool one. And I knew it had to be something with the TXVs because it had a bad suction read. The suction valve in the compressor was bad. And I'm like, okay, the only thing that's going to cause a suction valve to go bad is liquid refrigerant coming back and blasting it apart. So had to be something with that.
Good find. Yeah.
How do you know it had a bad suction read?
Suction read? Well, first off, you could hear it bypassing when I walked up, but when you tried to pump it down, it wouldn't do anything. It would just sit there and run and run and run and just wouldn't pump down basically. So it just couldn't. The reed was busted, so the discharge gas was bypassing into it.
Could it have had a bad discharge read? Then
it wouldn't add head pressure if it had a bad discharge valve. So you wouldn't it wouldn't have built compression. I was able to I could get the head pressure. The head pressure was, decently high. It was slightly low, but no, it was definitely a bad suction. I wish I would have cut it apart and I could have shown it, but it was a counter swap. The compressor was only 3 months old, so I had to take it back to United because it was under factory warranty. So
that's a good find though, Chris. Hey Ted, we had a little bit more earlier. Okay, we're at the end of the show.
62 watchers. Maybe something should change. No, this has been our type of show for the last however many years.
I forget we have people watching.
Yeah, as long as we're laughing, that's all that matters.
It's kind of like we're just talking to each other, and then we got a group.
100%. We happen to open it up to other people.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
I wonder if Ted was around for the power fister.
Probably not.
Thank God he wasn't.
Ted,
he wasn't.
It was pretty cool hanging out with Ted when he came.
It was.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to hang out with Ted for sure.
He seems like a cool guy.
I think anybody in the chat's probably cool to chill with.
I bet
Ted has some cool stories about Los Angeles.
Ted he just got up during lunch. Like we hung out. We walked over. We had lunch. We sat there for a little bit, and then he took a phone call. He's like, "I'll be right back," and he just got in his truck and drove away.
Amazing. That's how you do it. But sorry, Ted, did you get affected by these last hurricanes, whatever? The North Carolina, because I heard North Carolina guys.
Well, he's in South Carolina, but
that's pretty. He's like an hour away from. Yeah.
Where's Hambone City?
Hambone.
Yeah, I'd hit up there. I almost, and again, this is my cheesy little story into this. We had just seen a band in San Diego called The Midnight, and the next show that they were doing like 2 weeks later was going to be in Asheville. And my brother-in-law lives in Charlotte, which I think is like 2.5 hours away from Asheville. And he likes The Midnight. So when I found that out, I was telling my wife, I almost bought tickets to that show, and I was going to get plane tickets and everything. And this was before we knew the hurricane was going to hit there. And I'm glad I didn't buy them because they ended up canceling it, and Asheville's basically almost gone now.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy.
We wouldn't have made it, but we would have flown out on Friday, and that's when it was hitting. They would have canceled all the flights. It just would have been a disaster, but still. I just couldn't imagine, dude. And then did you hear the stories about and I see both sides of it, but do you hear the stories about the private pilots that were trying to fly in and the authorities were basically stopping them from helping people? And there's a couple different stories that I've heard where they were basically threatened. Do not fly anymore. Get out of here. You don't need to be here. We have officials that do this, and they were just trying to help people. But I also see the other side when rescuers are really trying to get a handle of the area and they don't want a bunch of private people coming in, but I think they should have figured it out.
I heard like private citizens with their own helicopters were flying around.
Yeah, that's what they were, because the help was, still to this day, there's people that need help and haven't gotten it. So
I heard stories about that during, I think it was Hurricane Katrina or something like that, where there was a dude who basically had like a big monster truck, and he was going around helping people, saving them from their roofs and houses and stuff. And then he got in, I think I was on a video. He got the cops pulled him over and told him he's got to get out of here. They're going to arrest him or do something.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
His choice.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. I don't even know. Nobody knew that this was going to happen. So I can't, judge from over here.
Didn't they tell people to start evacuating?
Yeah, but I don't think they knew. Dude, they
never know the severity of it.
Yeah, it decimated.
I feel like this happens every year.
Usually it's
that's at the top of a mountain. They don't flood. Mountains don't flood.
Yeah, maybe not in this area, I guess. I should pay attention more.
They're also telling other people to move from their country because missiles are coming in. They don't move. So
yeah, it's freaking bizarre. Like, dude, everything right now, like
cemeteries were getting washed away too.
Debbie Downer, but I mean, across the world right now, it's just devastation, and it sucks, dude. We're over here like, I don't know, it's just dumb, dude.
We were talking before you guys came in here, and me and Chris were like, we're just kind of like blah moods right now. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
the last couple weeks or month or so, it's just like, you know.
Coming off this summer, for me, it's taken me a long time to recover from like all the effort I put into my house project and stuff. Like I just basically have just been like blah this whole year.
Oh, and you're still in summer. You're still in full swing.
Yeah, we're like in the rubber band portion of summer though, because now like it'll be 60 degrees tonight, and then tomorrow it'll be 90, and then like we're having this rubber band weather back and forth. So
like right now, work is kind of slow, but I mean, I'm still getting 40 hours sort of thing. It's just the speed I need because I don't get much sleep anymore. Family stuff.
Dude, I'm telling you, I already talked about it on the show earlier, but wait until your daughter asks you if she can stay at her boyfriend's dorm.
Dude, my 10-year-old asking me if she can have like sleepover with some of her girlfriends from school.
Yeah,
and even then I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, staying over with a boy is much different.
Yep, for sure. Staying in a dorm with
Bill or Chris, is it tonight she's staying over there?
No, she's not. She asked like if the situation ever came up, if she could, and we were like, well, I mean, we can't really tell you no.
You should
like,
say no, that's fine, but I just want you to make sure that you put a picture of me on your screensaver of your phone.
That'd be a pretty good idea, huh? That's a pretty good idea. But cool. All right, well, I think it's time we wrap it up. I need to go get some food. It's dinner time over here.
Oh, wait. Hey, look, when you click end stream, there's a spot you could add an outro video.
Speaking of the power fister.
That's perfect for you, Chris, because you're such a tight ass.
Pretty much.
Hey, look, we can they have a default outro video.
That would have been sweet. Adding features to this, dude.
That would have been great to end it right there, Bill. But Adam again is just
my audio. There you go.
It's so dumb.
Now you're in.